do have like pelvic health for those that need it, and acupuncture as well. We do some sleep hygiene and moral injury. We have a chaplain on staff that is really good at helping out those that are struggling with their own moral injury. So those are just some of the things that we offer, some of the offerings.
Okay, perfect. And who is eligible for the Road Home program?
We help all eras and all discharge statuses, and we also help families as well. So anybody really.
Okay. And how can veterans and service members get involved with the Road Home program?
Yeah, for sure. So they can go on our website and fill out the intake form if they're looking for mental health services. But if they want to get involved, I'm actually the one that's in charge of the volunteer aspect of things at Road Home. One of the upcoming projects that we have is teaming up with the Mission Continues, and we're going to go to one of the local schools to go paint on Saturday. This is a project that we've been doing all summer. This is the third time we're going over there. So there's many ways to get involved. It's not all about mental health. If you want to volunteer and aren't really sure where to start, and you feel like maybe you want to come with us and join us on some of these activities, you're more than welcome. But we can always plug people to the resources that they need. So that's another way of getting involved. So it just kind of depends.
Okay. And what has been the impact for the Road Home program since inception?
Yeah, honestly, we've been able to touch many lives, and I think that the biggest thing was going from like a 3 week model to a 2 week model, because we were able to now service more folks in a shorter amount of time, but still being effective. It didn't really change much. Um, and then just some of the statistics is that like 75 to 80% are reporting that they're clinically like a reduction in meaningful reduction in PTSD symptoms and their depression. And then like another really cool stat that I'd like to highlight is that like over 50% aren't probable. I'm sorry, over 50% are no longer meeting the probable criteria for PTSD.
Wow.
And on top of that, like 50% are reporting that their thoughts of suicide have decreased. So we're seeing that this program is very effective. Like 94% of them recommend it to their peers, to other service members and veterans. So definitely word of mouth is the best way.
Oh, that's awesome. And do you have a point of contact that anybody can reach you at?
Yeah, for sure. So you can get in touch with me via email, which is Alejandra_A_Hernandez at rush.edu. You can also reach us at roadhomeprogram.org. And if you're interested in the 2 week intensive outpatient program, you can also call to fill out or to get an intake started. And that's 312-942-8387.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for that, Allie. And if there's any questions, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put that in the comment section and we can get those answered. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to bring up Val from Vet Park. And you're on mute still. So go ahead and just take it off mute. All right, there you go.
Hello, Lourdes. First, I want to thank you for doing this. This is a really good thing to get the word out about different organizations. And good to see you, Allie. What would you like to know, Lourdes?
Yeah. So what is Vet Park and what is the mission?
Vet Park, we are a veteran-led peer-to-peer referral and sponsoring agency for veterans and their caregivers. We offer alternative forms of healing, information on them, so they don't have to get stuck in one thing where they might not be helping them and might need a change. Sometimes certain therapies or different things work for a while and they don't work after a while. So we want to connect the veteran and their caregiver that helps them to different options. We do follow the person-centered recovery principles outlined by SAMHSA. So we do follow SAMHSA, and SAMHSA is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. That's pretty much a national governing body for mental health in America. And they describe recovery as a process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness and live self-directed lives, strive to reach their full potential. And the only way you can do this is heal in some sort of way. And if there's not one way, there's another.
Perfect. And how did Vet Park get started?
Vet Park got started when my friend and executive director, Robert Dabney Jr., he began to recognize how much therapeutic benefit came from his personal activities of writing, of nature, photography, CrossFit. He became curious about the therapeutic benefits he received from doing that activities and realized that others might benefit from these same things. And a lot of them are easily accessible. He then began speaking with other veterans about activities that are helping them. He discovered that many people weren't pursuing the various programs available to them to the veteran community because they didn't know about them or lack of understanding about the therapeutic effects of such activities, or veterans were kept from getting the most from those programs because of a lack of funds or other barriers. Vet Park's ATV was established to provide veterans access to alternative therapies that are often unattainable or cost prohibitive. In saying so, we will try to get someone to fund that activity or that therapy that a veteran needs that can't afford it. You know, some veterans aren't 100% or aren't even any percent. And there are veterans that we unfortunately know who have discharges that don't get help. They're still they're veterans. They served. And this can help that situation as well. The organization was created in 2019 with the vision of assuring that all veterans and their families are knowledgeable of and have access to alternative pathways to achieving whole person wellness, particularly for conditions like PTSD, depression, MST, anxiety, etc.
Perfect. And what type of alternative therapies does Vet Park offer?
Our purpose is to encourage, promote, and assist veterans on their journey to mental and spiritual wellness, particularly the mind, body, and spirit, through community building, veteran-focused self-help seminars, and creating more opportunities for active participation in various alternative therapies on a continual basis. There are things that are out there that they don't know about. We'll get them there. We'll give them information how to get there. We help veterans overcome barriers to achieving mental and spiritual wellness by broadening their understanding of wellness and ways of pursuing it. Sometimes, you know, as a person who's also recovering himself, you get stuck in a rut and we don't think there's no way out because we can't see it. So what we're trying to do is show different rays of light so they can see there are pathways to get out of that rut they're stuck in. Currently, we have a weekly online peer group that any veteran or caregiver or of a veteran is welcome to attend, and that's on Thursdays. That's today at 6 o'clock, so it's going on right now. And that's why Robert is not here, because he would have been here. But yeah, that's very important, him getting this started. We are just starting, so it's important for him to be there as well. Our peer team, we're very small at the moment. We're just getting started. Everyone on our board is a peer. Certified either state or by DVSA, which is the governing body that certifies for the federal government. So we aren't currently able to provide full peer support services. However, we're growing right now and anticipate having our peer services department functional by at least the spring of 2025. In order to do this, we need veterans with a lived experience of recovery from mental health or substance use disorder that are ready to use their experience of overcoming to get trained up to go back into the fight to help save their fellow warriors. And, you know, for most of us that joined the military, we wanted to serve. And I know for me, one of the most important things in my life is serve my brothers and sisters and much as I can. And if I can prevent them from doing anything or going through any pain and suffering that I've suffered, you know, I want to give that to them. So this is another way of serving. You know, we may not be in uniform, but we still know what our brothers and sisters are helping. We're currently building our team. We're recruiting veterans right now in the Chicagoland area, designed to become a certified recovery support specialist in Illinois. So this certification will not only enable you to work out for our organization, but you can work anywhere in Illinois. That's what they require. It's through IOLPACA. We will be launching our peer support training later this year, ours, and that will prepare you for this test. So Robert's taking it. I've been a peer a long time. I'm probably one of the more knowledgeable peers around because just I've been around so long and I take my job seriously and information I've gained. And it comes with time. We will be launching our training later this year. This will prepare veterans to take and pass that Illinois Certification Board Certified Recovery Support Specialist exam. So we have people that are taking it, and you'll be getting pointers that you need.
Perfect. And how can someone, I know you're recruiting individuals to come to the organization. How can someone get involved with Vet Park?
Financially, Vet Park's ATD first step is to connect excuse me. Questions. I skipped a couple of questions. We're currently building a team and recruiting veterans in the Chicagoland area. So right now we are recruiting veterans to become peer supports in the Chicagoland area. We will be launching our peer support training later this year. Outside of this, we're partnering with local practitioners of various alternative therapies, and we'll be hosting a lot of workshops and gathering to build community and to introduce our community to ways of regulating themselves and healing that feel more like fun rather than just therapy. You know, sometimes there's art therapy, equine therapy. There's so many therapies that people enjoy: hiking, bike riding, and you know, therapy doesn't have to be a solemn thing with your therapist where you dread going. It can actually be a fun thing. How can a person support us? They can sign up to receive our monthly newsletter. They can attend our weekly peer group. They can donate, and that's when you go to our website that you will see that clearly, the donate button. And you can sign up to learn more about our peer certification program, our training program. It's just getting started. I'm a very good peer trainer. I've trained a lot of people, most of the VA hospitals, and I've never had complaints. And I'll be one of the trainers, so you get some good training. Robert is excellent as well. He brings a whole nother dimension to it. And we have Nicole, Jasmine, and Jacob, I believe, right now, and more people are coming on board. So if you're a veteran that practices, sings, dances, paints, sculpts, or anything that you can think of that gets your creative juices stoking, spoken word, whatever it might be, skydiving, I'm going to try that. And constructive for your mental well-being, anything that you can think of doing and want to share your experience with other veterans that they might be wanting to do it. You might get I had a hiking group, just people wanting to hike, you know. Lourdes has a biking group. There's so many things you can get together. You don't have to be alone. So, you know, if you can share this and encourage others to join you in your journey, please connect with us.
That's incredible. And what has this organization done for you? What's the impact it's made on you?
Robert has a lot of knowledge. I don't want to get too much into his background, but he has a theological background too. And just his ways of healing and thinking and mind and spiritual has opened me up to things that I never thought before, you know, and it just, for me, I knew a lot of things were out there, but also as you get to a certain point, you become maybe a little bit narrow focused on the things that you already know. And Vet Park has opened me up to other ideas and other things that I wouldn't have thought otherwise. And it helps me to my overall mental health and my spiritual well-being.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share or any contact information for them to get more information about the program?
Our contact information is, you can reach us at info at vetpark.us, US. And Vet Park is spelled VETPARK. You can reach me at Vail, VAIL, at vetpark.us. And Robert is Robert, traditional spelling, at vetpark.us. Our website is www.vetpark.us. So if you have any issues, just remember vetpark.us.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And we will add Leslie to. All right, Leslie.
Hi, Lourdes. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So there's two organizations that we're going to be covering with Leslie. One is Leave No Veteran Behind. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. Can you talk a little bit about the organization and what's the mission behind Leave No Veteran Behind?
Yes. So Leave No Veteran Behind focuses on investing in veterans to build better communities. We achieve this through employment, training, transitional jobs, and our original mission, which is the retroactive scholarship. LMVB's mission is to ensure that veterans can continue serving the communities as valuable assets, so leveraging their skills and experiences to make a positive impact.
Perfect. And how did the organization Leave No Veteran Behind get started?
So LMVB was founded in 2008 by two Army veterans, Eli Williamson and Roy Sarton, both Chicago natives. Their startup story always tugs at my heart. So picture this. It's early 2000s. Roy is deployed to Iraq. At night, he is finally able to call home after weeks without being able to talk to his mother. So for those of you who have deployed, you know how important those calls are, right? It's a time to de-stress, to talk to your loved ones. But instead, the call added more stress to him because his mother was letting him know that she was being hounded by debt collectors, trying to reach him to collect on his student loans. So once he returned from Iraq, him and Eli decided that no veteran should go through that. And they started Leave No Veteran Behind with the original mission of paying off student loan debt for veterans. And we've paid off around $700,000 of student loan debt. And that has grown into other mission. Our mission has grown to not only include retroactive scholarships, but also transitional employment and training programs.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
Um, and what are some of the key programs? I know you mentioned just a few, but what are some key programs with Leave No Veteran Behind?
So we have the retroactive scholarship, and full disclosure, it's a wait list, right? We have so many applicants. Unfortunately, the need is still so high. But veterans can apply for retroactive scholarship. We are always trying to find supporters and sponsors to help us pay student loan debt for veterans. We have employment training, which includes our executive leadership program, which will be happening, I believe, in the winter season here in Chicago again this year. And we also hosted in Washington, D.C. And we have veteran benefits training as well. And then we have transitional jobs, which is our safe passage program, where veterans and community members are able to work the safe passage program as a transitional option.
Okay, perfect. And how can people apply? I know you said there's a long wait list, but how can people apply for the retroactive scholarship?
Yes, so you can visit our website at lmvb.org. You click on education and then retroactive scholarship. It will have instructions on how to apply and then the apply link. So it'll let you know what documentation you need to prepare in order to complete your application.
And is that just specific to Chicago or is this a nationwide?
It is a nationwide program.
Okay.
That program is nationwide, yes.
Okay, perfect. And what is some of the importance behind the employment and training programs that you do have?
So our transitional employment and training programs are crucial because they empower veterans to transition smoothly into civilian life. These programs provide valuable skills and job opportunities to help veterans build careers and gain financial stability. There was an article in a major newspaper years ago, and I can't remember which newspaper it was, but it was titled, "Unemployed Need Not Apply." So it's been proven that employed applicants are more likely to get hired than unemployed applicants. The irony, I know. So our transitional employment keeps that in mind. It's an opportunity. It's not a long-term solution, right? It's not a long-term employment opportunity for our Safe Passage program, but it is a transitional opportunity where it helps veterans have some income, have something to put on their resume while they're looking for a long-term opportunity.
I love that. That is very true too, because I know when I took a long break from being out of the military, they're like, yeah, but you don't have a job.
Right.
Driving for Lyft didn't count. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. And how can individuals or organizations get involved with Leave No Veteran Behind?
So individuals and organizations can support Leave No Veteran Behind by becoming a community partner. We're always looking for partners to refer our veterans to. Visiting our website and clicking that Donate Now button is always a huge support. You can also participate in events or help spread the word about Leave No Veteran Behind's mission and programs. In fact, we are having our annual fundraiser gala, which you've attended and can attest to how fun it is.
Yeah,
It
fun.
is on September 14th. And for those of you interested in purchasing tickets, you can visit our website at lmvb-gala.com and purchase tickets today.
Love it. And what impact has Leave No Veteran Behind had on veterans and the community?
So LMVB has had a significant impact. Again, they've been around since 2008. They've paid off over $700,000 in educational loan debt. They've paid off over $1 million in transitional wages. So their programs have contributed to reducing unemployment, promoting community resilience, and fostering a sense of purpose among veterans as they transition to civilian life.
I love it. And how long have you been with the organization?
Since 2014, so 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
Yes.
I
It's
remember
a
you
fa-
did get an award and I was like, yay. Last year.
Yeah, it's a family at this point. It's a
Yeah.
family-owned business at this point.
That's awesome. And how would someone be able to get in contact with the organization or website?
Yes, I encourage everyone to visit our website at lmvb.org. And there is a message. You can send us a message to our info box, or you can reach us at info@leavenoveteranbehind.org.
Perfect. And we are going to switch over to Habitat for Humanity. Is there anything else that you want to say about the organization?
No, I think we covered it all.
Okay.
Encourage everyone to visit our website and attend our gala to see how fun we are.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been to too. All right. So let's jump over to Habitat for Humanity. And I know this is another, I guess I'm involved a little bit in each organization. But,
Yes, you are.
particularly, I love the Veterans Build, something I think I've done 3 years in a row. It's one of my favorites, especially since I'm in housing. But it's just so cool to learn how to build homes. To me, it's just like, I don't know. I guess in my other life, I was a developer maybe. But
It is fun.
what is the main goal of Habitat for Humanity, the Veterans Build program?
So the main goal of Habitat's Veterans Build program is to partner with veterans and military service members and their families to improve their lives through affordable homeownership, critical home repairs, and community engagement. Habitat's mission is simple. Everyone deserves a decent place to live. So they've always served veterans, but with this Veterans Build program, it's more intentional, reaching the veteran community, engaging the veteran community, not only to be served, but to serve as well, because veterans may not need our service, but all veterans love to serve. And so
Yeah.
that's what we're about.
Yeah, and I think last year you had 100 different, was it 100 veterans from different organizations come out to do some of the builds?
Yeah, so every year we have a Veterans Build event where we deploy veteran teams all over the Chicagoland area. Last year, I believe it was roughly 15 teams, each team with 10 people, 10 veterans. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun. You've been a part of it 2 years in a row, or 3 years, I believe. So yeah, that's one of our major events for the year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how did the program start? How did the Veterans Build program get started?
So So I believe it started in 2013 because this started with Habitat International. So I work with Chicagoland Habitat, and the specific position for veterans at Chicagoland Habitat, they hired a veteran engagement specialist in 2020. So that's when it started in Chicagoland as far as having a designated person to engage veterans. But Veterans Build as a whole started in 2013. And again, it was just to make an intentional effort to reach veterans and address affordable housing and critical home repairs.
Got it. Perfect. And can you share a success story from the Veterans Build?
Yes. So there's several I could share. But I think I will share the first veteran we served, and I'll share a success story of our critical home repair. Originally, we were looking to engage veterans in our home ownership program, which we still do, but we quickly found that there's a major need in critical home repairs. So there's, again, this year alone, we've served over 20 with critical home repairs, but I'll go back to the first veteran that I served in this role. His name was Terry, and he was an Army veteran who served in the Vietnam War, where he was exposed to Agent Orange, leading to decades of health issues. He and his wife own his home in Elgin. But in recent years, Terry had struggled with mobility issues. So he needed a smooth path to enter and exit his home with his oxygen tank. But he was on a fixed income with no room in the budget for repairs. So he reached out to Habitat. Terry's repairs were completed through a collaboration of Habitat for Humanity of Northern Fox Valley and Chicagoland Habitat. Habitat of Northern Fox Valley received and approved Terry's application and led the repair efforts. And Chicagoland Habitat secured funding and volunteer support with our partners at Home Depot to complete the repairs. So we were able to repair the deck and fix the sidewalk leading to his back door. And it was a fairly simple repair for Habitat, but it had such a big impact on Terry. He was so grateful. He came out and so grateful. And unfortunately, he passed a few months after that, and his wife reached out to me, but I was so happy that he got to see the community just come together for him. It meant so much for him and his wife.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. That's great. Unfortunate, it's very unfortunate, but, at least gave him some comfort, during that transition.
Right.
So,
yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I had, a client of mine had a plumbing line restored through Habitat, and then a client who couldn't find a property, she actually got a home built for her. So on my side too, it's pretty awesome that we can still refer people over to the program that are in need and may not qualify for an actual home and still be able to get one through the program. So it's something I'm very passionate about. That's why I love to help.
We always appreciate your support with this and your referrals.
Yeah. And, but how can individuals or organizations get involved with the Veterans Build program? Because I know we have one coming up.
Yeah, so individuals and organizations can get involved by volunteering, donating, or partnering with us. We're always looking for veterans to volunteer for our Veterans Build program. Veterans Build event, which this year will be November 1st and 2nd. So we're still looking for teams. If you are interested, please visit our website at chicagolandhabitat.org. Click on Veterans Build, and it'll give you information. Or you can click on the teams, team members, and my contact information is there. So we're always looking for veteran ERGs, veterans, family members, community members who want to support.
I love it. And let's see.
Go ahead. One more way to support that I wanted to mention is our restores. So shop at our restores. The restores are like awesome thrift stores almost, but with furniture and appliances and construction materials. So for all of you DIY people, restores are amazing. And
you can also donate there too, right?
Yes, correct. You can also donate.
Okay, perfect. And what are the eligibility requirements for veterans to participate in the to get a home, and then also in the Veterans Build program?
So veterans must apply through their local Habitat for Humanity affiliate. Eligibility is based on need, willingness to partner with Habitat, and the ability to repay an affordable mortgage. There are AMI restrictions as well, so area median income, which varies depending in the county that you live in. Specific requirements, again, may vary by location, and veterans are encouraged to contact their local Habitat for the specific requirements. But you can also visit our website at chicagolandhabitat.org, and there is a list of all the Chicagoland affiliates, and you can just click on which is near you, and it will direct you to their website, which will give you the eligibility requirements.
Perfect. And is there any oh, this is a repetitive question, so I'm not going to ask that. But is there, so you did mention where to get some more information. Is there anything else that you want to add about Habitat for Humanity?
No, other than, Habitat for Humanity serves everyone, not just veterans, but we are always looking for veterans who want to partner with us through the different 5 pillars that we focus on, which is building, employment, volunteer engagement, education, and honor. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And for you organizations that are on here as well, if you want to form a team and help us build a home, please let me know.
Yeah, last year I didn't know. I was like, which one do I go with? I wanted to help everybody.
Yeah, Chicago gets booked fast, but we're looking for our other areas as well.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Leslie. She'll be on here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lourdes.
And then now we're going to add Rogelio. He's going to be talking about the mission continues.
Hi, Lourdes. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
First of all, thank you for the invitation. Some great information being put out there. Wonderful organizations doing some awesome work. A lot of people that collaborated with and supported. So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So can you share a little bit about the mission for the Mission Continues?
Yeah, so the Mission Continues is a national nonprofit veteran organization that serves communities through veterans who want to continue serving after their service, after removing their uniform. They want to continue still helping out, giving back, serving the country, but by supporting community initiatives. So the Mission Continues empowers veterans to be able to do so, to make those connections.
Wonderful. And how did Mission Continues get started?
The Mission Continues started back in 2007. Eric Greitens, former Navy SEAL, he's the one that had that vision about helping veterans find a renewed purpose through community service.
That's perfect. Yeah, I've been meaning to go out there a few times. I think I've arrived, but I was super late. It's always when I have to work, but that's awesome.
There's always something coming up. So
yeah, I'll get out there eventually.
We won't give up any hope.
I know. And then what is a service platoon? So what is a service platoon? Can you go over what that is and what they do?
Yeah, definitely. So we have service platoons throughout the country, more than 40 cities nationwide. And some cities have one platoon, or depending on the size of the city, you might find 2 platoons. Here in Chicago, we do have 2 platoons. So I'm the 2nd platoon leader. So the service platoon is a group of veterans and community members just coming together who have registered. They get these updates on these upcoming events and come out and support these service projects. So these platoons are led by one, like I showed, platoon leader. So their job is to engage different community projects, find different initiatives, connect with local organizations, and then bring that opportunity for community members and veterans to participate.
Okay, perfect. And what kind of projects does the Chicago Service Platoon work on?
Um, Various different projects. So first of all, finding the type of initiatives that that platoon leader wants to focus on, along with the platoon or the rest of the platoon. For example, street violence prevention intervention initiatives, which is one of the main things that I mostly have focused on and very passionate about. So focusing on finding those initiatives and then figuring out what type of assistance we can come in and provide those community organizations. For example, with the violence prevention, is activating spaces, creating community gardens, working with the youth, creating murals as a form of therapy, finding collaborations as such to help support those initiatives.
Wow. And how can someone get involved with Mission Continues?
They can go to the Mission Continues webpage, the Mission Continues website. There you'll find a user-friendly interface that will help you filter events in your local areas. Or you can also find the platoons within your city, like I said, because since we have platoons everywhere throughout the nation, you can go in there, filter the city, find those platoons, sign up. Once you're signed up for either a platoon or an event, you're going to automatically be receiving those updates on any upcoming events. So that's the good thing. Once you're in, you're in. And it's just a matter of getting motivated, coming out, and trying to make an impact, a positive impact in the community.
Yeah, definitely. And what impact has the Mission Continue had on veterans and communities?
It's had a huge impact. We've been able to come out and engage communities throughout the city, Auburn, Gresham, Inglewood, Little Village, you name it, all over. We mostly focus on those under-resourced areas that could use that support. We've connected with the broader community, bringing and showcasing those skills that as veterans we have, that specialized training that we bring where we can get the job done, right? But better than that, it's not exclusive to just veterans. We are also bringing in community members, clergy, law enforcement, including community organizations, street outreach. So just bringing this whole group of people coming together, being led, of course, by veterans, it's just awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've been able to introduce that to show that as veterans we have a lot to offer, and connecting and engaging the broader community has just had a positive impact overall. I believe we've had such a great results, and also veterans themselves. They really find that they're finding a new meaning, new purpose, a new mission. They get motivated. They find different initiatives, different things, and they continue on doing that work, making those connections in the communities, and doing side projects. Outside of the Mission Continues, getting connected with organizations, so or other vet organizations that also we partner up with. So it's awesome.
Okay. Well, that's great. Is there, so how do people get in contact to get on that list, like how you said, to the updated list where they'll get the emails and events coming?
Yeah, just go on like I said, go on the website, sign up for either an upcoming event within your local area, or sign up for a platoon. Once you sign up, that's it, you'll be automatically notified of any upcoming events, or just reach out to me, email me, and I'll make sure that I put you in. If you're having difficulties navigating through our, interface, which is, you shouldn't, because it's very user friendly. But if that's the case, just reach out to me. It's arvia@missioncontinues.org. And I'd be more than happy to sign you up.
Well, thank you so much. And I love seeing you guys. And one of the really good things I see too is veterans are encouraged to bring their families. So, I do see a ton of kids out there and, getting, actually giving back, and they're having a good time, lots of smiles, even when it's like pouring rain, like everybody's like really happy to help. So that was at one time I was coming, started storming and everybody like left. But yeah, so thank you for what you do. Definitely beautifying, or well, I don't know if that's a word, but making our communities beautiful. And putting the word out there.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yes, good point. We also the majority of the projects are family friendly, so where you're able to come out and work together as one unit with your whole family, doing something positive. And we'll have projects for different age groups, so that to make sure that everyone's participating and getting the most out of these projects.
Yeah, wonderful.
So thank you for that, Lourdes.
Rogelio, well, thank you so much. And we're going to
All
bring
right, thank
on
you.
Armando with Chicago Veterans. Hello, Armando.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
My camera's a little fuzzy. I don't know why.
Perfect. You are good. You are good. So I know Chicago Veterans has a lot of different aspects. And so do you mind just sharing what Chicago Veterans is and its mission? You did mute.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps on going on mute. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. It's back on mute. We can't hear you. Armando, can you say something?
Try now.
Okay, we can hear you now.
All right, let's try this now.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's been a hectic day. It doesn't end. So, yes, Chicago Veterans is a nonprofit veteran organization. Started I believe it was 2013. I've only been with the organization for about 4 years. It was actually my uncle that got me into the organization. So they do the biggest fundraiser is the Ruck March. It started off with 22 miles. It represented 22 veterans a day. That was the biggest number. 22 veterans committed. I hate saying committed. We're not supposed to say it no more. It's dying by suicide. And a lot of it's like reminds veterans that lost their battle buddies through suffering from PTSD, because usually that's what it leads to. And also the Ruck March reminds everybody too that we lost overseas, to the Iraq War, Afghanistan, or even Vietnam,
Right.
the foreign wars. It's sad to say I actually lost more battle buddies through suicide than I had lost in Iraq. But we got a wide range of programs. Definitely, not just the Ruck March, our annual, but we also have our annual Veterans Ball that we have. It's always around around in November, around Veterans Day. And now we nominate top veterans. What was it last year? Was the top 23. Now it's going to be the top 24 this year. I was one of them that was nominated. They didn't ask anybody to vote for me, by the way. I don't. I really don't. Everybody knows I don't care about all that. I just because I'm a recovery person, so you'll hear more about that in a minute. But we also have the Liberty Cause. So it's a social events where veterans get together, and go out. Usually there's foods and social places. Sometimes there'll be it could be a golf outing, it could be anything funny, bowling, or just out for burgers or fun outing, or even have one or two other nonprofits, veteran organizations sharing resources. And the goal is to have a veteran just pop up and looking for something hey, I'm new out of the military, because a lot of times veterans get out of the military and they're lost. I was that veteran one time, and it was here's your DD-214 packet, goodbye. But now we have the Woman Veterans Program. The woman only vets, which is really good because it's pretty pretty big, and it's sad to say. And I've seen it too while I was deployed, and while I was on stateside. Military sexual trauma and things that happen, and then a lot of women veterans don't even want to say anything because threatened. It's just sad, people, the rank of power and everything like that, and then it's just events and still working through their mental illness, and it just really helps to be around other women, just women only veteran events, and so they can share their stories and help them get through the struggles and let them know they're not alone. I mean, not just MST, it could be any other things. It could be PTSD, it could be substance abuse, it could be just getting back into social. I mean, because not just being a female, male and female all go through the same things. It's pretty common too. Men go through MST too.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And there's also the roll call as well, which help with employment, and they connect employers with veterans all under the same place, which is really nice. So yeah, there's a ton of programs, and the Woman Veteran Program is one that I'm very passionate about. That is something that it's a great safe place for women veterans to come get together and to build relationships within the community. And now we are seeing the program has been going on. That specific division has been going on for a year now, and seeing the relationships that are built within the community is like amazing. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh my God, so amazing. But yeah, thank you for that. And how can people get involved with Chicago's veterans?
Well, they could go on chicagobets.org, but also, I didn't even talk about my programs.
Yeah.
So my position is veterans in recovery. So I focus on more recovery, the full cycle of mental illness and substance abuse, because I'm recovering from PTSD and alcohol. Well, when I got out of service, I struggled a lot with it, like really bad. I was in and out of the psych ward. I was in and out of rehab. And actually, my uncle that passed away, which are coming up on 2 years in October, he was a board member of Chicago Veterans. When he picked me up, when I finally, found hope and faith and recovery from rehab, and he's like, yeah, we're always looking for a program, because he always tried to get me in Chicago Veterans, but I was still like antisocial. Even when I was drinking, I was like, I don't want to be around nobody. Even when I got out, but I was like sticking with AA, and he's like, why don't you do like a veterans recovery program? So I was like, you know what? Why not? I talked to Vietnam vets that helped me in my AA program, which were the co-founders of my AA club. They're like, you should do it. We'll back you up. We'll help you out. And so I just started doing it, and everything just fell into place. And now I'm like going to school to be a psychologist. Well, clinical mental health counselor. I decided I don't want a PhD. I just want to get my LPC. I just want to get this over with. But I don't just do it as a career, but I also do it out of the heart, like in the community and volunteer work, because it's also as I believe in the nonprofits, because we know when veterans are not connected with the VA, especially veterans that have bad discharges, that's why Road Home program is awesome, because they help every veteran. There's other nonprofits too, but I believe in that, because there's a lot of vets that I know that got 3, 4, 5 deployments, and a lot of times they get kicked out because of a mental health issue, and they just don't even, it's you never know. It's they just, oh, you're a messed up soldier, you're a messed up Marine, here's a OTH, you're out. So it's a lot of work to do. So it's never the end of the world. You gotta let them know it's okay, but it's a lot of shame a lot of times in that. That's why it's like I'm open about my recovery story, and I tell them it's okay, man, to make mistakes. It's not the end of the road, man. You're still a veteran no matter what. You still serve the country. We can fix this. There's other obstacles for this. Just there's other programs we can get you into. Until then, let's work on your recovery while this way. Yes, it's a long wait. We all know to get service connected, no matter what. Even if you have an honorable discharge, man, sometimes it can take years to get a damn service connection.
Yeah.
But that's why I believe community resources veteran nonprofit organizations, it works. You know, I mean, we need it because there's veterans that are going to be waiting, and just sometimes it's just like there's that big F it, I tried, you know, and they give up. You know, we got to continue to bring that hope and faith, and you know, that's why like we need more veterans out there like or in recovery to like be open about the recovery, because I tell everybody, man, if you have been through the battle and you've been through the suffering and you're in recovery, you have a superpower. Share it, man. Give it away, you know. But you got to keep it if you want to give it away.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I mean, I know Val and I know Robert Dabney, man. They're doing great work out there at that park too. Allie, World Home Program, and you guys are kicking butt. And that's another thing, you know, because with my career, you know, in Chicagoland area, we got a lot of resources. But right now, because I do veteran AA meetings on Zoom to try to help the veterans that can't leave areas like outside of Chicago. I mean, because Chicago, you got, even if you can't drive, you got CTA. And out in the suburbs, you might have Pace bus, but if you miss one bus, that's it. You got like another hour or two, you know. In Chicago, you got like a 5-minute wait. So you have to, it's just giving more options for these guys, especially if they like had like, you know, battles with alcohol. A lot of times they lose these licenses. So they can't make a meeting, they can't make it to certain places. And then even if they are the VA, a lot of times the VA it's a 8 to like 4:30 services, you know, unless you're inpatient. So you got to have these continuing like evening services going on. But like I believe that like that's why we got to also think about the veterans that are outside, like in like the suburbs and these no-name towns that I'd be hearing about. Like I never knew there was a sandwich, and you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. Yeah, and definitely there is a big overlap, not an overlap, but we do collaborate with many of the organizations that we see here. And I know with Chicago Veterans, I think this was one of the first organizations that I got involved with. I didn't know that there was such a thing out there, any type of veteran organizations. And from there, I got to learn the difference between each of them. Has it made any impact? Well, I guess you did share that it made a big impact with you in regards to, you know, getting you on that path to recovery. And now you're giving back through the program, helping with recovery. Very similar to my situation where I wanted more woman veterans to come out because I was one of the only veterans that would come out to a lot of these events. And I wanted more women veterans there. Like I was at the time I was married. So I just said, this is, you know, where are they at? You know, so going out to these events and then using their mission, which is, you know, being out and being social events and gatherings. I was like, hey, what if we have, you know, just an all woman type of thing so that I feel more comfortable. And we had surveyed 23 women veterans, and they all said on the impact that program has made for them. And now I see a lot of different organizations paying tribute to that. So it's amazing how there's different sections from Chicago Veterans. Now we have a recovery program. You've hosted many resource fairs. You hosted a huge resource fair that had over 40 different organizations and what have you. So it's amazing how we can use Chicago Veterans to branch out to some of the things that we feel comfortable with, just like with every other organization, and bringing it to them and say, hey, we want a separate section from that. So thank you for that. And I know we're winding down on time a little bit. Is there? And we have one more. We got Donna coming, and I just want to be respectful of the time. But is there anything very quickly that you want to add? Because we do want to respect the 7 o'clock. We got 2 minutes, and Donna has to.
I'll be quick. So, like for example, like it's very important that everybody in the community communicates, and we all know that. Because if we don't have the answer, it's important that we know somewhere where to call. Like, hey, if I don't have the answer, I know to call. But with I'm having an event on September 7th, which a lot of organizations are because it's Suicide Prevention Month. But I'm actually I'm having like local rehabs that are starting to have veteran programs.
Yeah.
Like I'm having Haymarket, Banyan, it's at my event. So it gives options for veterans that are like don't have connection with the VA right now. So because I mean the VA does have like if you have an emergency, but there's also too if this veteran has like OTH or something, it's like I'm giving more, but it's also good for other organizations so we can also give them instructions like if they get a veteran that walks into the rehab. Because remember, the veteran walks out, sometimes they don't even know where to go. I get calls all the time like this veteran needs a rehab. What should he do? He knows he can't go to VA, but
Right.
it's also it's all sharing and working with each other in the community. So I appreciate you having me on there, and everybody continue working together, continue to communicate as we do now.
Thank you so much, Armando.
Thank you.
Hi, Donna.
Hey, Lourdes, how are you?
All right, thank you so much for making it on here. And I know you're the founder of Allen Force, and I know you're on vacation, so thank you so much for taking the time. But can you talk about Allen Force and what the primary mission is?
Yeah, I really appreciate the invitation. So yes, Allen Force, as you're highlighting, veteran nonprofits, absolutely. We are a nonprofit. Our mission is really to serve through all veterans of every era, as well as their families, through health, fitness, and recreation. And the beauty of health, fitness, and recreation is it's something very familiar with people who have served in the military, but also bridging that community, that transition into community, sometimes that gap, it's really a benefit to be able to do that through fun activities. But our mission, we serve through therapeutic recreation, which is very specifically assessed and organized and planned and facilitated fun activities to meet the wellness needs of the veterans and their families.
I love that. And can you talk a little bit about what recreational therapy is?
Yeah, I would love to. So personally, I think it's the best field in the world, the best career, because we get to have fun for a living, though it is a lot of work behind the scenes. And so recreational therapy, it is a field that technically it is a systemic process. We utilize recreation and other activity-based interventions, and it requires an assessment of the needs of the individual. And we work specifically with individuals that have illnesses or potentially disabling conditions or physical injuries or mental health. And it's a means to psychological and physical health recovery and well-being, just in general. So rec therapy is used to improve physical, cognitive, social, emotional, spiritual functioning. It's a holistic approach, literally, to life.
I love that. And can you share how Allen Force got started?
Sure. I'll give you the short version. I did not serve in the military, but I've been in therapeutic recreation my whole life, and in my whole life, unbeknownst to me that it had a title before college. And so I had been, from high school, I went into aviation. I wanted to fly fighter jets, but my eyes were not good enough. And so I went into the commercial aviation route and maintenance curriculum as well, and graduated from that, but it was non-degree. And then I thought, what do I want to do for a living? So this is a abbreviated version of it. I had been growing up as a lifeguard and all kinds of different odds and end jobs that were in like human services. So then I found therapeutic recreation from there to get my degree. When Allen Force, the idea of that came up, I was working at a special recreation association and organizing their outdoor adventure recreation, their pet therapy programs, all kinds of different things that just fit right under TR, therapeutic recreation. And they had received a grant to serve injured veterans during the time of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. And they weren't sure exactly what services to provide. So they had actually asked me to help start that up. And I said, oh my God, that'd be an honor. Wait, I don't know anything about the military. And they said, well, we don't either. And I said, can you give me like 3 months to do some research? Because I have no idea, what way to steer this. So from there, we started up the Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies program, which was the first kind of jump into serving veterans through health and fitness. And there's a free membership to the Park District fitness centers that the Special Rec collaborated with, and that were members of the Special Recreation Association. And it also provided monthly networking events, which I learned from everybody who served in the military, that camaraderie piece is so missed when they get out, because you disperse all around the country. You don't usually go home with your whole unit you served with to the same town. So, and then also just the guidance of a professional trainer. So that program itself was a big success the first year that it was offered for free. And the veterans in it asked me to grow it around, well, they were asking me to grow it around the nation. So we started growing it locally and in neighboring states. And where I was working at the Special Rec, they said, you've gone way beyond our mission. We want you to take this and run with it. You have our blessing, because the veterans were really pushing for it to grow. So this was in 2009. And so they kind of guided me in a lot of different ways to start up a nonprofit to include other services outside of the Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies program. They wanted services for women only. They wanted services for the families as a whole unit together, just with immersive recreational activities in the community. So it was a lot of fun, really, to be, as you've experienced in all these other nonprofits that you've been interviewing, at a grassroots level, you have so much diversity and different ways that when you hear a request, it's so much easier to implement. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And there's not a ton of red tape overhead on a national level to really filter through to make that happen. So Allen Force was founded with that long story at the request of the veterans who had been on the first mission with me back in 2009. Just wanting more services because there weren't a lot around the area for community and therapeutic recreation.
I love that. And who can participate in Allen Force programs?
All eras, all ages, all levels of anybody who served in the military, reserves, National Guard, with a other than dishonorable discharge. I'll say it that way. So we heard Armando talk a little bit about, some of the challenges with OTH, and just I've learned over the years different reasons that might not even be assigned to that person, that discharge definition to no fault of their own for different reasons. And so definitely we serve not just the veteran or active duty military, but also their families, because that transition in the community, it takes the family and it takes the village of all of us serving as well. Something that I had learned, well, I didn't get to learn it directly from my dad. He died when I was just a year old, but something that his family had taught me was how much it really does take a village to really foster the holistic health of an individual. And Allen Force is actually named in honor of my dad. He served in the Army, and he died when I was just a baby. But so it's in his honor that Allen Force was created. So it's been a real passion project. I think I heard you use that phrase, a real passion project for that reason specifically too.
Yeah. And how can someone get involved with Allen Force?
Multiple ways. AllenForce.org is our website, and they could fill out the interest form on the website, and that goes directly to our email inbox, and we will do a phone call and assess what their needs are. We also have social media. If they want to check out what we do ahead of time, we try to post all of our event photos from the variety of different programs that we do. And also there are a lot of opportunities to volunteer. We have a great volunteer team utilizing our vet tank wheelchairs that we have, altering wheelchairs that we provide out at different events and activities in the community. But also we do a lot of educational programs. We're constantly pulling together groups of veterans to speak on educational panels to the public. Me coming from the civilian world, I feel like, why don't we know about veteran culture? There are so many different ways that we can adapt our communities to be more veteran friendly, like super simple ways. And nobody knows about this or thinks about it on a different level to do that in their businesses or in their organizations. So we do a lot of volunteer panels and a lot of speaking engagements as well, where we look for people to help out, veterans or their families. So those different ways, volunteering, participating, and also leading. We have a lot of volunteer leaders for our different programs.
I love that. And can you share any type of upcoming events or initiatives that you have coming up?
Oh, I'd love to. So we have a variety of upcoming events. We have monthly events that have started. We're very, very excited. We will be opening up our first veteran wellness and recreation center,
Wow.
3,000 square foot facility, and it is in Joliet. And we are so excited about it. It's something that I never even envisioned in the 12 years that since I founded Allen Force. But people keep requesting, and some funding came through to make this happen. So that's something that will be coming up as a grand opening and sometime around Veterans Day. And we will welcome in all the families and supporters and everybody to come in and just enjoy a great grand opening party and see what's going on. But that will enable us now to not have to fight for space for our monthly events that we have. So we have 2 music programs every month. It's the second and the fourth, currently Wednesday night of the month, but we'll be going back to Tuesday nights after the summer is over, because we have conflicts with the summer cruise nights where they close down the street and all the hot rods are on the street and stuff. So there's no parking on Tuesday nights when we usually have the music program. So second and fourth Tuesday of the month, we have our music program where you bring your instrument, you bring your voice, you bring just your tap and foot, whatever you want to do. And it's a jam session, really fun. The third Sunday of the month is our She Force program. That's for all women veterans, as well as wives, mothers, daughters, sisters of veterans. That's the third Sunday of every month. And then we have 2 annual retreats with that as well. We have the last Friday of every month. So that's coming up soon too. We have our family movie night. So different movie night, different movie every week or every month for the families. And then we also have a vet rec program every month. August 3rd, we're going off-roading in Jeeps at the Badlands Adventure Park in Indiana. And so something, adventurous and fun like that, because that's part of my passion, is all that high adventure adrenaline rush stuff. So our big fundraiser we have coming up September 30th is a golf outing. It's got a fun military twist to everything that's going to be happening within it. And then that one's in Joliet. And then September 7th, there's 2 resource events going on that day, I found out. We've got our big motorcycle run, and all riders are welcome, whether they're on 2, 3, or 4 wheels. And we'll have a huge resource fair at that as well in the St. Charles area, because that biker community, a lot of times you'll find people that don't really utilize the VA. And so again, trying to bridge that gap to make sure they're aware of all the benefits that are out there if they'd like to seek them.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. And there's a lot of events. I'm very happy that you're actually going to have a center, because that's something that a lot of us is trying to get. And that is awesome for you to have a place where you can use. I started planning events like last year. And it's challenging.
It is.
Just to have that home base. So
it really is. And though it's far for some of the other organizations, part of our strategic plan with that wellness and recreation center is for every other veteran organization to have a specific night where they can come in and carte blanche, have the access to it for whatever programming they want to do.
All right,
So
everybody hear that?
yes.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much, John. Is there anything else that you want to add?
just really appreciate, as a civilian, the ability to now serve those who have served us and have had so many sacrifices, as well as their families who have sacrificed so much. So it's just an honor to be able to be part of it. And it's wonderful to collaborate with all the veteran organizations, because it really, truly takes a village, because we all have our different specialties and things that we do. And that network, keeping that network strong and woven, is so important, because it's the bottom line is ending veteran suicide.
Yeah.
That is way too high in the culture. And that's what we all really are working towards, every single one of our missions. So getting that long-term engagement and building up that new family for camaraderie and engagement in the communities. So thank you, Lourdes.
Thank you, Donna. So now I'm going to add everyone back on. So just trying to see where the cameras are at. All right, perfect. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. I know we're very blessed to be in an area where there's a lot of collaboration. There is so many different aspects of organizations doing their own special thing, but all in all, it does help veterans come together and to find their home and to give back to the community, and also take advantage of the resources that are provided. So thank you so much. All the information will be added to the YouTube page when we get that. And then I really appreciate it. And if anybody wants to say anything, now is your chance. And I don't see any questions. So yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, everyone. Bye.
Keep up all the good work.
Thank you. Keep rocking it, team.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.